Erev Shabbos, this coming week is we read from Parshas Mitzora, and also it's also Shabbos Haggadah. I want to emphasize an idea about Parshas Mitzora, which I think can relate to not only to getting ready for Pesach, but also in general towards our avodas Hashem, our service towards God as Jews. It says in Parshas Mitzora, which is the parsha of purification of the Mitzora, as the Mitzora seeks purification from his diagnosis from Tsaras. It says after he goes through his lengthy purification process, it says V'nirpa Tsaras min hatzarua, that the Tsaras has been healed. But then it says min hatzarua. What does that mean? So I one time heard this powerful insight from Rabbi Reisman. He says that just like in medicine, there's a very clinical diagnosis for tsaras. Tsaras has to be a certain color, a certain shade, a certain size. Now, in order for someone to become purified, it doesn't have to be completely better. It just has to get a little better. The color has to fade a certain way. The size has to shrink a certain size to a certain size. It doesn't have to completely be eliminated. If it goes away to a certain way, it's also okay. It doesn't have to be eliminated completely. It just has to shrink in its scope. It has to be fade in its scope, and it's also okay. And the larger message is sometimes a small victory is also okay. In life, we're not always going to get everything we want all the time. Sometimes we have to be content with partial victories. And this message can be applied in many different facets of our life, from our relationships, our personal relationships, to our professional careers. But in this case, I want to take the opportunity to apply it to in the spiritual realms of our life, to our relationship with God. Even if our relationship with God is not perfect, it's getting a little better. It's also okay. It's also a victory. And as we get ready for Pesach, sometimes we think about we're going to have the most meaningful Seder this year. It's going to be so spiritual and so inspirational, and the Seder that we have not had in the past, for whatever reason, this year is going to be the most meaningful, inspirational, moving Seder of our lives. And then we walk away from the Seder, and it's like, it was all right. It was all right. And we have to remember this message. Sometimes, even if it's a little better, it's also a victory. It doesn't have to be perfect for it to be meaningful. It doesn't have to be amazing for it to be inspirational. It doesn't have to be awesome for it to move the needle. It's okay if it's even a little bit better. So as we move into the week of Pesach, let us try to treasure the small moments of inspiration, the small moments of meaning, and the small moments that just move the needle a little bit. I wish you all the most meaningful Pesach and the meaningful week of preparation towards the Festival of Freedom. Wish you all a good Erev Shabbos.